Uh, well, happy Thanksgiving, everyone. Happy Thanksgiving to all the people who are watching right now. Um, uh, by popular demand, by the poll on the thing, you wanted a Thanksgiving stream, so here it is. Also by show of interest or editorial decision, instead of going with the two initial nights of my Buffalo train chase that no longer had a train to chase and just had interlocking equipment. I'm going to go with the my 2006 CNO tour survey from the back of Amtrak's Cardinal. It's not as quite as extensive as my later ones, but it's actually my first foray into trying to document large sections of mainline with heritage signaling. Something that I was at the time only starting to realize the importance of as resignaling efforts gained steam. Especially since it's one of those, first they come for the towers, and then they come for the ABS 251, and then they come for the pole lines. By the mid 2000s, it was clear that just because something was CTC does not mean that it was going to be staying around for a while. Also, I didn't quite realize how old some of the CTC projects were. Most of these the CNO ones I was talking here are well over, were into their getting about 50 years old. So the CNO mainline, I'm going to give people a quick. I didn't get it working. The mouse, the micro switch just seemed to be happy again. But again, I'm sure it's wearing out and might die at any time. So where we're discussing here is it's a little hard because West Virginia is tough to do stuff. The CNO main line runs from Norfolk or Hampton Road specifically through Richmond, along the James River through Lynchburg, up over the Alleghenies through White Sulphur Springs, along then over to the New River, through the New River Gorge, up to Charleston. Then it sort of cuts on a faux valley here over to Huntington, and then along the Ohio to Cincinnati. At which point it would take there's a branch that goes north up to Michigan. Its main thing was exporting coal over the Alleghenies to Hampton Roads, and had a number of other connections in the Ohio, Kentucky, Indiana area. The Amtrak's Cardinal, Chicago, is the long way to get to and from Chicago, taking well over 24 hours compared with the 16 to 18 hours of the Capital Limited or the Lakeshore. The reason people take it is because, as I've been told, it turns over its seats about 2 or 3 times. It's actually a Indianapolis train, a Cincinnati train, and a West Virginia train. So people who going to and from Chicago from this area, or going to and from the east from this area. The way the westbound Cardinal works is that you, especially this is a rather unfortunate time of night. This trip was taken in the Veterans Day period in 2006. It leaves Chicago at night. In the summer, you lose light somewhere in here. In winter, it's leaving in darkness. Also in winter, you're going to be getting up. You're going to be gaining light somewhere. Probably somewhere in here. Due to breakfast on the Cardinal occurring in this area right here, I have a few photos starting in the St. Albans area. Then nothing, and then finally I pick back up in the Montgomery area, and we'll then be able to probably have photos all the way in this area. But they're sketchy. I only had about 100 photos for that entire stretch, and they're not great. But some of them are areas that I would not be able to, even on subsequent trips, be able to reproduce. So anyway, that's the background, and I'm just going to start going here. We're just going to start. I have a couple photos coming from the St. Albans area. St. Albans was known for its Y track with a fairly complicated interlocking. And I think there was even a tower or a cabin in there. When St. Albans was abruptly resignaled in the 2008-2009 timeframe was when I realized that just because something's CTC does not mean that it's going to be protected. And moreover, it was going to be resignaled with seaboard indications instead of CNO. That caused me to do a number of subsequent trips. But this was already lost, so this is the only photos I would ever have of the St. Albans. I remember St. Albans was a hugely popular railfan location because of the CNO cantilevers. And as soon as those were taken out, the number of photos in St. Albans dropped to practically nothing. So this is actually the westbound cantilever of the East End dock siding interlocking. CNO had a lot of bizarre interlocking things. They really liked exit signals. Sometimes their interlockings didn't quite have well-defined limits. A lot of that can make labeling things very, very difficult. But you're not seeing things. These are often very blurry photos. These are being taken out the back of a viewliner. Cardinal viewliner rooms are notoriously expensive and have been for some time. That's because they only would run a single viewliner sleeper. And then a lot of those rooms had to be used by crew. So they had a very, very small number of rooms available. And a full pull room would almost never drop below $400. Whereas a room on the Capital Limited in the winter could be had for about 100. At this time probably around 120. So this is on the Kiwanis sub. I said it's East End dock siding. And this is the westbound cantilever on my Huntington East timetable. That's going to be, it's in the opposite direction that I'm traveling. That would be a track 2, clear signal on track 2. So the reason I'll get into CNO signals in a bit. The reason I was able to do this is because I was traveling with my Amtrak friend, the same one that I was on the train chase with. At the time, he was able to use the employee discount. They used a system called red, white, and blue, depending on demand. I'm trying to think of it how it worked. Red was the most restrictive. That just meant a 20% off discount. White meant the least restrictive. That meant that you would just get complimentary seats or the room, depending. Blue was the middle ground, where you would pay for it and you would get a refund. They would check their computer system to see if the room you had taken would have been sold. So if anyone had to be turned away, had tried to order the room and a query was made and someone was turned away, you would not get your refund. Otherwise, you would just get the 20% off. We were traveling under a blue circumstance, and eventually my friend was able to get the trip for free. So that was good. Here we are at the St. Albans Y. That would be your St. Albans was sort of like a weird plant. That's the St. Albans is just part of the Y track. That would be the coal dock interlocking there. Today it's all part of a unified St. Albans interlocking. I'm not sure. I don't know if I'm pretty sure this seems like I'm shooting out the back. Oh, well, there we go. I'm starting to be a dick again, but whatever. We'll figure it out. I think that the viewliners were not on the back. I'm not entirely sure. I think the Cardinal was always odd because it had the viewliners on the back, but that does not look like a viewliner type of door frame. The first time I did this, I didn't know how to do the survey type stuff yet. So I didn't have some of my, again, just like everything, it was almost there. When I started doing this, I have the original photos. The names I was using would have the subdivision, another underscore, and then a milepost, even if there was an interlocking clearly there. I don't think I had gotten I had gotten all of my timetables in this area yet. Today, I just use an underscore, a sub, then a dash, then if there's an interlocking. But if it's not an interlocking, then you see a milepost. And here we have coming out of the... it's really fascinating here. This, I think, would be the... this is the east end of the St. Albans siding. Or is it? Would have to be. But the westward siding ends before the eastward siding. Maybe they cut it back. Sorry, you're not going to get a lot of this. This St. Albans stuff is sort of very, very odd. And there's the end of the westward siding. Yeah, it's got to be just St. Albans. But it's just neat that if you zoom in on this very, very grainy photo, you can see clear signal, and all the way back down. So that, 3 in a row. Really neat signaling on the CNO. And we're going to get into some of the more interesting once you can see them better. By the way, these are full CNO signals right here. Full as in they can display any. I mean, they can. I don't say they are, but they can display any signal indication on the CNO. Wait, no, never mind. A full CNO signal is 3x3, not 3 x. Is it? No, it would be 3, 3, and 2. Because they didn't have a third red. They only had two reds. The bottom one would then be, damn it. The bottom one would then be, it wasn't the mouse there. That was me clicking poorly. The bottom head would only ever display yellow or green. This is very early in the morning. Like I said, it was. I probably got up and then breakfast would happen at a certain point. And now we're at the end of the other siding. This is east end westward siding. That's the name of the interlocking. Enjoy it. See, this 2005 diagram has another siding on the far side there, but it's clearly not there. St. Albans was well known for a number of very oddball cantilevers. If I pulled up like a rail picture archives type of thing, and hit a location real fast, you'll see what I mean. I'll let that load while I'm doing my thing. Sometimes it doesn't like loading. The web page, whatever is running it, has intermittent availability problems. This is note again. This is all pole line. There's your Wabco relay hut and a pole line. These are probably re-signaled. I mean, I know that the CTC was started in the 50s, but I think those huts were definitely redone at some point. What the hell? Oh, come on. And anyway. Okay, now we've skipped ahead substantially. That was just a little bit of the St. Albans stuff. I think then lunch, then breakfast happens. Or I might have just wanted to get some St. Albans photos, realized that the morning light was not working well with my camera, and then decided to abort and come back a little bit later after breakfast. I'm pretty sure that I remember that it was just too dark for my camera with those, and I was just really disappointed. We have now skipped part. So for years and years, the start of CN06, so right after this, they did an initial cut of re-signaling. Oh, let me pull up the map. Come on. If that'll ever run. CSX did an initial cut of re-signaling. You can see how it goes. That lasted somewhere from around Barbourasville or somewhere in here, all the way through Charleston and down to Montgomery, which is where the Amtrak station was. Montgomery is right there. So this part was the first to be re-signaled, and it was done in like the 2008 or 9 time frame. So I never got. And usually, what would happen is I would get a whole bunch of. I did 2 more surveys at least, maybe 3. So I would get like a whole bunch of. I did 3 more. 2009, 2010, 2012, and I would get a whole bunch of photos through to Huntington. Then I'd hit the CNO signals. I'd hit the old stuff. I mean the new stuff, and then I'd go get breakfast. Then I'd go back on the job at Montgomery because there's nothing to see. So here is Amtrak. This is all out of whack. Oh, I bet this is in. Yeah, so here we have Montgomery. I mean, this is just for your information. On one end of Montgomery, you had a CNO cantilever, and on the other end of Montgomery, you had seaboard masts. Note I think they're actually they might have been CNO configuration, but there's your signal rules, where your signal rules would change from CNO to seaboard. So where we are is the New River sub, the Kawana Falls. But just not a great photo. Still not great for my original digital camera. This is let's see. I'm having to use some next ones up here. Where is this? I'm hoping these are in the right order. That looks like. No, that's not it. I know I have pictures of this before. That's Eagle. Here it is. This is intermediate signal 416.7. Yeah, that's it. Four 416.7 is located. So now we're out of the Kiwanis sub. We're in the New River sub. That's going to be spending a lot of our time today. Mountain, New River. This is a 2005 timetable, so this would have been period correct when I'm taking the photos, give or take. New River sub starts at Montgomery. We're at Kiwanis Falls. 214. This does not show signal locations on this, unlike in the B&O areas where it used to. It's a very, very pretty line. Not much I can really do to restore this one, except that the signal's all the way sort of far and away and blurry. Track is track 2. But if you, like I said, if you're interested, oops, that's what that looks like up close. These signal types here, I call them elephant ears. They're a USNS, either an N, style N, although I've seen other ones that's listed as style P or style R. That's just some pedantics on like the lamp housing. It's a non-modular vertical lamp. That means each lamp is in a single cast housing. What makes these also interesting is the fact that they're in what I call the elephant ear configuration. We have the giant backing around them. This is popular with a variety of railroads, including the Atlantic Coast Line, ACL, Nickel Plate, Union Pacific, all manner. They are generally well associated with the CNO, however. Let's see if I've picked up that. I don't know why Railroad Picture Archives is not like coming up here. Sometimes the site just takes a crap. This is GU cabin. That means we are now there. GU stands for Gauley. We are in West Virginia. So let's see if I can pull up that North American interlocking thing and see if I can actually find a time where there's a cabin there. I probably should have pulled up this site that has all the USNS CTC machines. Those are all archived, and you can pull up the CTC machine for all of these things. Let's see what we have down in West Virginia. Probably the last thing down here. Nope. No GU cabin. So, by the way, the main difference between this year and the previous years that you've all been watching for so long is that in February of 2006, started working full time. So I sort of went from student mode to working mode. So that means I had less free time, but at the same point, I had the holidays and stuff I'd get off. I would usually I was motivated to put to good use. Note that that the use of exit signals. Let's see. So here's the other end of it. Wait, no, that's not it. Yeah, these are arranged alphabetically, not sequentially. So GU cabin had an odd way of working. You'd come into it again. Note the weird exit signal there. You'd come in. It had a bunch of stuff going on, and then crossover, and then your more exit signals. Just sort of a strange alignment there, and I'm pretty sure those would also be controlled. One of the reasons, if you see how the CNO handled medium approach, you'll see why they preferred to use exit signals. Track 2 clear, soft. There we go. This is just a freight train somewhere in the area. I can probably locate where it is. It just takes me a second. I fortunately went through and marked the locations of all these interlockings. Yeah, so this is where a coal line comes in. The old interlocking with all its wacko signals. Today it's much more. You don't have exit signals. You don't have weird half in, half out stuff. Let's just see where this matches up. So if there's a little bit of an S curve. I'm betting that it's right in there. So I can distance measure from the interlocking. .6 miles. I then go. By the way, a lot of my stuff is figuring out where a photo was with the distance, and I've been using Wikimapia for that because they have a really nice little distance calculator. GU cabin is located at 114.8. Now GU cabin is pretty long, so we'll just call like 1.7. So that would be 1.3.1. 1413.1. Not a very great photo, but whatever, it's there. And it's actually the first one that's not horribly blurry. Glad I caught that. Looks like I went with an underscore for most of these. Let me just adjust this. Okie doke. So this would be 143. Not a lot really going on there, but okay. And I should know this one. Nope, going the wrong way. Or am I? 116? Wait, hold on. Yeah, I gotta go up. This looks like the four. No, it's not that one. There it is. The 411 milepost 411 signal. Yeah, that's the one. I did get a couple reverse shots by going out the window in some cases. So this cantilever applies to track 2 only for some reason. And I'm glad I'm able to put these. I'm glad I'm able to get these done because I'll be able to redoing this whole set. It's the best. I had even with all the blurry ones, there are some good ones, and it's sort of an underserved area. This is going to be Cotton Hill Interlocking. There we go. This is probably a better photo than the other ones I have. Not the best time of year to do this. So I did it twice in the summer, just from the back of Uliner, and then 2012, they were putting the dome car on this, and I flew to Chicago just to go and ride this back, and the dome wasn't available. But after some bad photos out through the back window of the coaches, I basically got implied verbal consent to ride in the vestibule, and they even cleaned the window for me, which was really nice. Finally, my first non-blurry photo there, really. Most people okay, I'll say most people should recognize this, but like you have to be a really sort of really into your C&O main line to recognize this location. This is known as MA Cabin, but there's no interlocking there, and I don't know why that is still a location with a thing. When I last rode this in 2012, it was the first place where where the signaling was good again, because the resignaling effort had come all the way up to here. So when I see a location associated with automatics like this, I'll still acknowledge the location, but it's still going to be it's still going to lead with the milepost. So MA Cabin is the signal that's right adjacent from the Hawk's Nest. That's why I say it's well known. So once again, these aren't westbound masts; they are masts. Oh wait, hold on. Yeah, because there's back and forth masts westbound, and it's sort of soft. And this is where you have that famous single-track bridge, where the line splits, with part of the line going on one side of the New River Gorge and the part of the line going on the other. By the way, this is all now part of well, not quite here, but some of this now becomes the New River Gorge National Park. So if you take this train, you can check off a national park on your list. So yeah, I don't know if the Cardinal ever uses the opposite side. I don't know why it wouldn't. It's just track 2. It's one of those areas where it's like the track split and you get a completely different ride depending. I've never gotten a track 2 ride on the Cardinal. I've only ever gone westbound. It's always CTC, but I've never gotten a track 2 ride, and I don't know why. Let's see what I called this. What the hell? Oh, yeah, okay. Like a billion pictures of the same bridge. Cardinal coming off the bridge. I'm surprised I don't have this shot before of like the Hawk's Nest sign and the bridge. Hawk's Nest is notable for the state park that's been there for some time. It apparently has really good. So you get a ton of pictures of trains crossing this bridge because there's like there's a state park up there that has really great views. And people will just be able to go and you can get any number of photos from this location there. And that's the famous Hawk's Nest Bridge. Increasing the color saturation is not working not working at all in winter. Okie doke, that's our first set here. We're going to be doing a total of bunch of sets. Let's see if anybody has any questions. Yeah, no, it was really cool. I mean, I guess they were feeling bad that I didn't get my dome car ride. That turned out to be great. Unfortunately, when a new crew got on, well, no, they basically said, like, hey, after this certain point, they're probably not going to let you ride back there. So from Charlottesville into D.C., I didn't get great stuff, which is fine. So that is this picture, just worse. The famous New River Gorge. This is now said part of the. This is located wholly within the New River Gorge Bridge, previously the longest single-span arch bridge in the world, until China just built a couple that were completely unnecessary just to get the record. And yes, they did. If you look where they are, it's like the arch. It's like going over some river, and the arch starts way on either side of the river, like totally unnecessary. This bridge, the U.S. 19, building this bridge cut off major amounts of time for people trying to get on each side of the river here, because the only other option was this super switchback on the old Fayette Station Road Bridge. This is actually one of my better photos of it. I mean, because usually they're trees. This is this is clearly my best photo of the New River Gorge Bridge. It's the latest in winter I've ever taken. So there you go. And the second one. Oops. That didn't want to miss out on this one. Oh, I can probably notch up the notch up the mileage here. So that's the Fayette siding. Each of these track 1s and track 2s would have... Oh, this track 1 has its own little, like, micro siding. Still within the 403 milepost. And here we are at the end of the siding. By the signal, you can determine that it is... so people who are used to Conrail nomenclatures, Conrail would call anything that was would call its sidings controlled sidings. On CSX, a controlled siding means it's restricted speed. Each end is controlled by an interlocking. A signaled siding is not only is each end interlocked, but it's bonded, so you don't have to get a restricting signal indication into the siding. This is I need East End Fayette. Here it is. This is a better photo from a different time. In the summertime. And a picture of the same thing with the giant rock. Did I ever... Here you go. This is pretty neat picture of the giant boulder there. Very, very bad, like, just no color at all on this. No more fall color. It's just winter. I'm going to make this part of the interlocking. It's going to be East End Fayette. These are... oops, going the wrong direction. Gotta remember I'm going up, not back down. This is the milepost 400 signals, just far away. Interesting that there's a lower head here. That could be because now the siding distance is 1 mile, so it could be that you can get an approach medium on an approach at this signal. Or it's just a remnant of that used to be a different type of thing. Yeah, I don't like when it's cropped too close like that. It just looks weird. That's better. Oops, I want to make sure that I didn't... Yeah, I don't need to resize that at all. Next, this would be... So the tracks at some point come back together, and now we're at Sewell, Scwell. Interlocking. There it is. I just have the one photo of the mast. This mast is medium approach capable. You would always think, like, in a CNO signaling system, right over yellow is just restricting, even if there's a third head. Red over yellow is your medium approach. Now, I don't know if it was a PRR type of thing where you could diverge over an approach. That was a thing in the PRR until 1956. It could also be that they used a lot of exit signals that there could have been a time where you would diverge over a medium clear and then you'd hit an approach leaving. That's also a way to do it. I don't know what they did, but there's a lot of situations where interlocking crossovers that should just things don't support medium approach. So I don't know what you do. I'll point out when I get to a signal that should support medium approach and doesn't. Yeah, it's a shame that this got re-signaled. With the collapse in coal traffic, if all that PTC crap was happening was displaced a little bit, it'd be interesting to see if the CSX even bothered, or would try to offload it onto a regional or something. I mean, I guess there's a lot of chemical industry in West Virginia that might make it necessary. Got some pole line action. Wasn't quite Johnny on the spot with wasn't quite good with the trigger on these. What am I seeing? Oh, this is where the track comes back. The track 1. We're on 2. And this would be the 395 signal. Just far away. And we're back to, what is this? Back at a controlled siding. So again, this is a restricted speed siding, but it's on the run up to the famous town of Thurmond, that I'm sure that you're all aware of. Known for its post office and being abandoned. It is a nationally registered historic place. So that signal there can support approach medium, does not need to support medium approach because this is a restricted speed siding. This is rush run. Here we are. This is a better photo of it from 2009. This is the famous coaling tower at Thurmond. Still there. It's part of the sort of ambiance of the place. Thurmond is still an active Amtrak station. Was very popular with hikers and canoers who would be able to get off there and then hike or canoe to the next stop, usually Prince. See, there's the Sewell Bridge. Sewell Interlocking. Remember, we're all still in the New River Gorge. This can take a lot of weird twists and turns. Rush Run Interlocking right there goes around the bend. Then we have Thurmond. It's like a combined interlocking. It's like East End. You get these things where it's like East End Rush Run and Thurmond. It's two different interlockings and no signal in between them. And there's your historic downtown abandoned Thurmond with its historic, I don't think, abandoned post office. I put stuff in here years ago. Thurman Historic District composed the entire town and a small portion of the opposite riverbank, mostly owned by the National Park Service. The storefronts in the commercial district open out onto the railroad tracks. You will see that shortly. And your Thurman coaling tower. There it is, in different seasons. Interesting to know if anyone still lives there. I think some people still live there, but they don't live downtown on that historic downtown part. At least it's easy to do a lot of the file names. And here's again, the now gone view of downtown Thurman because that cantilever is no longer there. This is one of those things where it would have been nice for like the National Park Service to intervene, just like on Horseshoe Curve. You know, for the local Chamber of Commerce just to go to like the NS or whatever and be like, come on, what can we is there some accommodation we can meet, a payment, like something just to keep some of these things there, or, we'll pay how much does it cost to maintain a position like Signal Bridge on the Horseshoe Curve, that one that's there. So this is the Thurmond Interlocking, not the Rush Run. Here we go. Thurmond, westbound cantilever, plus downtown. That's that famous downtown where the shops just open right out onto the tracks. Also, siding exit signal outside of interlocking limits. Sure. That's some sort of scenic railroad spur or a short line, whatever it is. And at some point you hit the post office. There it is. United States Post Office, Thurman, West Virginia, 25936. Question is, yeah, I would have had to have put this on as part of the stuff. Let's see. Yeah, there it is. A bunch of them. Milepost 390. The actual Thurman Amtrak station. It's technically a flag stop. Hey, I see some color, but I'm still gonna have to saturate the heck out of it and remove the red as best I can. For a station that sees almost no use, that's a really nice station. I think it sees more than you think. Flag stop for the Cardinal. Let's see if we can get some information on it. Thurman Station, blah, 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 blah. Traffic. One of Amtrak's least busy stations. Second least busy for fiscal year 2006. That's the year that this was taken in. After Greenfield Village, Michigan, which is less traveled because it had been discontinued from the regular schedule. Of the 509 stations served by Amtrak in fiscal year 2012, Thurman was again the second least used ahead of Sanderson, Texas. This is used because the Cardinal is actually spelled out in legislation that a train that Amtrak has to run and where it has to stop. It was put in the legislation by famous West Virginia Senator Richard Byrd. This is CSX 7745. I do have a CSX roster up here to try to figure out what that is. It's a C40-8W, one of quite a few that they had. Although they were eclipsed by the later AC 4400s. I wonder if it's, what is it, 7745? Let's see if it's still in operation. 7758. Yeah, it's still working with CSX. So good for it. No boy. Here we go. Nice. Same old slide fence, just worse photo. If this seems longer, it is because this is an 18 photo set. There's a reason. You'll see it in a second. This is the tunnel, westbound portal. Does this tunnel have a name? Thurmond. It's not even on the map. So there's your New River Gorge. That's Thurmond. And where is that tunnel? You gonna show me? Looks like it would be right there. Nope. Oh, there it is. That's the... No. Railway tunnel. Great, thanks. Sino Tunnel, direction to both sides of the mountain. Okay. We're just about to come into Prince, so I'm just going to do this as best I can. Yeah, I know it's by Prince. I'm trying to figure out if it has a name or not. And I can't find a name for it. Milepost 381. All right. Let's see if anybody has any questions or whatnot. Sorry for the not checking back. Oh, neat. All right. So this was like I had two sets of photos here because my camera wouldn't remember like keep a running tally. I had to segregate them into different folders. So I'm just gonna recombobulate here a second. Oh, damn it. All right, whatever. Don't care. And we're gonna restart. Not restart anything. I'm just gonna do this again. So I need to do 18 more photos. It's 12:10, so about an hour in. I should be able to pound these right out. I'm just going to do one big block of 18, and then I'll just remember to check in occasionally. Oh, that's cool. So, how are we doing this? I'm actually going to go back to the photos from this guy that I've not looked at and see what I did back then. Oh, these are such a weird interlocking with exit signals and stuff down there. I can't really see what's going on. Oh, I have other photos. That's right. Thurman, slide fences. Okay, so here we have at the east end of the, this is, what do I have this as? This should be West End prints and East End prints, but it's all kind of part of the same interlocking, so I just called it prints. Note, again, absolute exit signals for reasons. Fair enough. I think this is where we go into a weird thing of Rule 251. Oh, we did. No, it's not that yet. Sorry. Okay, anyway. What am I looking at? Okay. Where was that? Not there. There. Here we go. So that's East End of Prince. Working it back. What does this even look like? We got a siding. So we've got a shingle track. It expands into track. So the Piney Creek sub comes in that way. Comes in as track 2 after the crossover. Okay. There's the siding. There's a crossover. There's that, and then this is going to be that thing there. So we got one switch and then 2. Preve. Yeah, so there's a switch. Man, this is so weird. Okay, Piney Creek sub comes in. Turns into track 2, facing point or trailing point crossover. That's a siding. And this is what we have. Prince int. Okay. Well, it actually took time to get off the train there. So I'm going to definitely this is going to be part of the Prince interlocking. Whatchamacallit. I never got why the print station was so important. I think that the Wikipedia page tells you. Prince Amtrak station. Cause it's really nice. Chesapeake, Ohio, built this facility of 1942. Saw a need for a stylish, streamlined, efficient passenger system. It just seemed like a proof of concept that they just put in the middle of nowhere. With an upsurge of activities, oh yeah, Prince Station is the where you go, where Boy Scouts for their new high adventure, their jamboree site. Jesus. Bechtel was able to pawn off a reclaimed coal mine onto the Boy Scouts as their new jamboree site. It's basically a crater in that used to be a mountaintop that they're pretending is some sort of really cool natural area. It's a total fraud. But it's 7 miles away from Prince, so this is where troops would take the train into, who wanted to come to it via there. So this is definitely going to be more on the Amtrak Prince Station side. So it's interesting. It's like, they built this nice station in the middle of nowhere. It didn't get much use, and then suddenly it's in the national park. It's got the Boy Scout thing, so the ridership has actually gone up there, it looks like. And here we have this really nice photo of the Amtrak Prince Station. I'm just going to look at the map one more time to see what the heck that's near. I mean, I guess that's technically a town. I guess it's near Beckley. And somewhere is the Boy Scout place. Just checking real quick. I should probably mark that tunnel on Wikimapia better. Is this railroad unmarked? It's just not going. Oh, that's just a Y. Sorry. Yeah, might need a little bit of rotational. There it goes. That's better. Oh, I didn't even include that next one. Now I'm going to put this as the East Amtrak Prince Station. Yeah, why would I put this as, like, railroad related? That's Amtrak related. Alright, good enough. And here we have the east end of the Prince site, the whole Prince interlocking complex. On the timetable, it's listed as 2 different interlockings, but there's no signals between them, so there you go. And note the exit signals, again. Thanks for staying with me. Hopefully we can get you out here on time. In this case, oh, another thing to note on the C&O signals is that they put the red lamp is at the top of the top head and the bottom of the bottom head to give you maximum separation. So it's one of the very few that has on the top head does not have a high green. It has a low green. If that makes sense. Don't know why this can give you a high green signal. Maybe it's blanked over. Oh, it looks like it is. Yeah, because they just never changed it when it was double track. This is Quinamount. I did not get good photos of this. It's sort of a very, very weird. It's kind of interlocking, but not interlocking. The CNO likes crap like this. So it's like a controlled point, including this middle siding yard exit signal thing. So you have two cantilevers. It's basically it's effectively a CP, but I'm giving it the milepost. It's located at a sort of Y track thing. Quinamount did have a tower associated with it. That one, you might have seen photos of it. That's not there anymore, but it comes up a lot. They're the two cantilevers. Again, I just don't know what's going on here of how they were managing this. And that siding goes all the way to Prince from the Quinamount, whatever this is, some sort of old yard. I don't know if Thurmond or anything had anything in here. No, not yet. Okay, moving on. Next, we jump ahead. This is Bacchus. Wait, nope. This would be Camp. Oh, there's also an East End Quinamount. Oh, there you go. Make things even more. Okay, there's a Quinamount, a neck on one side, East End Quinamount, Bacchus, and then we're at Camp. Bacchus, here's Camp. Again, not a great photo. Some of these cantilevers are very well maintained and painted, kept up to date, but this would be something else. I think this is Meadow. Just keep going here. Yeah, that's the one. By the way, sometimes you do get modern style masts, but they would be with CNO indications like those. We have this same location just with Some rolling stock in the way. When I get to the end of this line, I'll public. Oh, finally, we have some a decent photo and B a displayed signal. No, we've actually had a reasonable amount of displayed signals. So this is no, it's not that. All right, just get me out of there. This would be East End Meadow Creek. That looks like it. Yep. This is actually a pretty nice picture of this. The stark landscape. You know, just a little one displayed signal really makes stuff pop. On the map, there's just a lot of stuff. So this is East End Meadow Creek. We have this sort of oddball center track. All of this is made for staging coal trains that will like never come back. So I don't know what the plan here for all this is. And that's going to be track 1. Approach indication, probably because we had to clear the block at the camp. And finally, this is our track 2 signal at the same interlocking. Makes me wonder if I should just do a cut on this. Oh, I don't need to be that high. There it goes. Right there. Sorry for the silence. I just don't have a ton to talk about. All right, let me just see if there's any questions in the thing. Nope. Thanks for watching, blah, blah, blah. All right, on to the last set. Going to be a series of about 9 more, and then that's it. This is one of the nicest ones I like. It's sort of a surprising. I even kind of remember taking it and being there. We saw that approach at the last signal, and so that would be at East End Meadow Creek. This is 1 mile away at sandy sandstone. It's just the sheer volume of interlockings here is just crazy, and the fact that while CSX did come through and change things up in terms of numbers of interlockings. Oh, they did add a Quinnamon interlocking, I believe, or did they? I mean, I'm seeing some cantilevers right there, but I'm not seeing signals on the opposite end of things. So it looks like they did not take the opportunity to rationalize as much as they could have. There's a cantilever. Oh, and there's one mast. So what was I looking at? What's the next one? Bacchus. Oh, sorry. That's I'm way behind things. Meadow Creek. Was there any rationalization there? No. They didn't move the switches around at all. So while they had that, and then, they did the same thing. It's like, hey, let's put a crossover here, coming up to that sort of oddly shaped interlocking to protect a yard full of tracks that probably really aren't used as much. So again, I just don't know what their ideal for that all was. But this is neat. First off, we have some sort of highway. Whoa. That's going to be Interstate 64. Part of that makes up the oh man, I got a fun Interstate 64 story that I'll relate to you at this point as I go through this. But anyway, yeah, this is just neat because you had this approach mediums. There's only 1 mile to that next signal at that next approach. And then just verifying that track. Give me track 1. So the funny story is, I was driving down to see the solar eclipse in Tennessee via I-81, and there was a bridge out because for maintenance, and I bypassed on the Interstate 64 from at 81 going into West Virginia, then to take another road back. And as no sooner have I gotten on Interstate 64, I mean, this is very, very late at night, midnight, 1 a.m. No, it was before midnight. So let's say 10, 11, about 11 p.m. And I'm seeing like headlights coming toward me. And I'm like, did I get off? Did I get off the road at the wrong? Did I make the wrong turn? This is where where did I get off? This is where I got off there. Oh, wait, hold on. Yeah. I guess I was technically still in Virginia. I hadn't crossed over. I had to go into West Virginia and then come back out. And there was just a truck. I mean, it was a 2-lane interstate. There was just this pickup truck driving the wrong way down the interstate. No, he wasn't like swerving at me. It was just like it was just a 2-lane road. It wasn't that. I didn't really feel that. It was just fascinating. Like, that's interesting. Prince, blah, 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 blah. Quinamont, I gotta catch this back up because I'm finally got another automatic signal. There it is. Milepost 364. So that was kind of like welcome to West Virginia moment. Nice that I can positively identify all these locations and get their names and cut paste it all for you guys without having to do a lot of effort. I hope you're finding this somewhat interesting. So that's my Interstate 64 story. That happened only in 2017. Don't know why now this one is showing approach, but okay, whatever. Wait, I missed, no, sorry, I went the wrong way. Here it is. milepost 362. This gets back to that whole thing. Wait. Hold on. Yeah, okay. 361. Okay, good. Yeah, these double track cantilevers were ruined by that whole right-hand rule thing in the 80s, where you needed ICC/FRA approval for a left-mounted or non-right-mounted signal. So in a double track CTC, you either had to have bracket masts, cantilevers, or gantries. And then in the 1980s, I think it was either 80. I always forget. It's either 84 or 85. Now you could put a single double-headed mast on either side of the tracks, and there goes the ball game. So this is gonna be the neat bit, and unfortunately this went away. This is share what this is in just a second. Come on. This is CW cabin, and there's still a tower here. So I'm going to rename this in honor of the surviving tower. And the neat bit was one second. I won't ruin it. Although if someone's very eagle-eyed on my whatever resolution I'm streaming at, they might notice what the punchline's going to be, or what the big reveal's going to be. CW cabin, eastbound, plus So what blew my socks off was the fact that this was still pneumatic. Now there was a whole bunch of there was a bunch of C&O pneumatic interlockings back in the Kentucky area, but it was a lot of complex track work. It's one of those places where you can see where pneumatic would be likely to survive, and I was floored when we rolled through here, and this had pneumatic points. Because you see, they're your A5 switch machines right there. See, and there's your airline running right there into the weeds. And the damn shame was that when I came back, this is the 2009. When I came back, just like 2 years later, it had been they zapped it. Where is it? And I was ready. I was like, oh, I'm gonna get so many photos of this. Oh wow! And then like, no, they put in M23s. Great, wonderful. The other question is that tower still there? And I don't know. I've been trying to figure it out, but it's in the forest, and there's just I can't get a positive thing on the overhead. But I will take a look in just a second. And there's the tower, CA cabin. I'm pretty sure it's been demolished, but I don't have 100% confirmation on that. But if I might just take a quick look now to see what's on Google Maps. Of course, the tower, you can tell, is totally abandoned. I'm not sure if the air plant was still going on in there. I don't think so. That's way too open. Oh, CW cabin. Let's see if it's on our interlocking thing. CW cabin, Hinton. That looks nice. Right after it had just been probably abandoned. Yep, and they're the same airline at milepost 359. That's 1980. Yeah, and I guess it was not CTC'd at that point. Three photos left. I did manage. I was heads up enough to get a close photo of the facing point crossover and the A5. I think I knew that when I came by later the next time in 2009 or whatever, that they had replaced that switch because I had seen a photo of it and I was looking and I was like, oh no, that looks like an M3. Yeah, behind and here we go. This is the eastbound track 2 cantilever. Trying to figure if I should save this as a square cut. Yeah, why not? That worked. And last one, the track 1 cantilever. You can see there used to be like a yard or something there. I think I've seen some. You can, yeah, because that's why. Why else would you have these weird cantilever? Or why would you have that cantilever there? It's got to be cantilevering over something. A little bit more of this. So we're almost done. Thank you for whoever, if anyone stayed, thank you. And that's the eastbound track 1. Looking wide. Good enough. So, good place to finish here at CW Cabin. Let's see if we have any questions going on in the chat. Blah, blah, blah. It's, sometimes it costs more to remove stuff. It's weird. I don't know what's going on in that whole CSX zone. Let's go do a quick check to see what I can find with that tower. Okay, there it is. Hinton's where our station is, by the way. Here's Hinton. Come on, where's CW Tower? Did I not do it in here? Huh, sometimes I didn't. But if you just give me a nice winter view. Oh. Yeah, there's the frustration. See, there's trees are just right there. Because that's where the end was. And if it was just winter, if it was just this winter, if this winter just went a little farther, I'd be able to see the see if that tower was still there. I don't think it is. It would be right in there. You can go on the road. Yeah, it looks like it's gone, but I'm just not 100%. Oh yeah, this is new. Yeah, I'm not seeing anything that indicates that it's still there. But there's a mass right there. What are my other options? 2009? Yeah, it would surely still be there then. Yeah, I'm just not sure where. Yep, there's the signal bridge. Because I know I took pictures of it in up to through 2012, so the tower's there. You just can't see it through the trees. So even in a 2021 type of thing, that tower could still be down in there. So until I see the positive, get some overhead on there, I don't know if that CW cabin is there or not. Maybe if I can look down it a bit. Nah. Anything across the way, maybe? Sorry to take up your time here. I've always just been wondering about this. So where would it be? It would be somewhere right in there. So if I'm here, I should be able to see it. If those trees weren't in the way. Yeah, well, I guess this mystery will just have to go a little bit further. It was there in 2012. Pretty sure. G Tower, CW cabin. Yeah, here it is in 2012. So it was there. It's just very well hidden. I don't know if they would have bothered to demolish it or not. So anyway, if anyone knows, let me know. Thank you for watching. Tomorrow we're going to finish this up. Good amount of photos. Same time, 10 o'clock. And it's going to be covering everything up through G Cabin, Charlottesville, and almost to White Sulphur. So I sort of lose interest after a certain point, and then it cuts ahead to I think at one there's a tower in Allegheny. So there's some neat stuff. All right, I will see everybody unless they have any questions. I mean, it was super busy when coal was bigger. Even when I was on it, there just was not a lot of traffic. You just, I don't know what runs on it now. It was designed for coal, and its export is still pretty strong, so we'll just have to see. And tomorrow night it's going to be finished. As I said, it's going to be finishing this up. I got 55 photos. It'll go a little long. It'll hopefully won't go too long. My mouse is still working. That definitely improved efficiency today, and it should be pretty neat. So I hope you liked it. I said this is the history of my first. Oh wait, hold on. My first time ever doing one of these back of the train surveys. Because usually I would just ride it and look out the side window and be very, very, very frustrated. Yeah, a lot of neat stuff. So, all right. I'll see you later. Have a great day.